Biko, the coming days will be very interesting for Kano politics.
Yes, it is. The truth is, the court did not set aside the law. So it's important that our viewers understand that this is not what really transpired.
Okay.
Let me read what the judge said. Justice Abdullah Liman, who has just been elevated to the Court of Appeal. Justice Liman said, I hereby order that every step taken by the government is hereby nullified and becomes null and invalid, and that this does not affect the validity of the repealed Emirates law, but actions taken by the governor, which include assenting to the law and the appointment of Sanusi. I have listened to the audio of the governor both in Hausa and English after assenting to the law, and I'm convinced that the respondents are aware of the order of maintaining status quo, pending the hearing and determination of the motions on notice in the court. I think it is a serious matter for anyone to flout the order of the court and go scot-free. So the judge merely reinforced his earlier order, which was for status quo ante
obeyed
to be maintained.
Okay.
Now, because there was an order of the court handed down on the 23rd of May, the governor issued appointment letter reinstating Muhammadu Sanusi as Emir of Kano on the 24th of May. So you cannot say that you are not aware that the court gave an order on the 23rd of May. So you shouldn't have proceeded to issue that letter appointing him as Emir. So what the court simply did was to reinforce his earlier order. And in doing that, the court made it clear that where you go ahead to take actions in contravention of an earlier order of the court, whatever you have done becomes invalid.
Null and void.
Yes, but the judge also refused to grant the prayer of the applicant to have that law nullified. You know, because that will come later. The judge also affirmed that status quo should be maintained. So where some newspapers reported that he set aside the law, it is wrong. Because the judge even emphasized that it was not going to grant the prayer of Aminu Ado Bayero to have the law quashed. So there is no reason to say that, okay, the law had been quashed. Now, what the government then did was to also embark on a misapplication, a misreading of the judgment. Apparently for selfish reasons. The court, the judge, the state government is telling people that Sanusi remains the emir, that even that was affirmed. The court did not affirm that. As far as the court is concerned, status quo ante must be maintained. So that point has to be affirmed. And I think Mark should go and take away this lower third because it misleads the viewer. That is not what transpired in court. It is clear that when a judge gives an order, the judge expects that order to be obeyed. You do not get the reliefs that you are seeking from a court when you will not get the relief you are seeking from a court when you clearly flout his directive. People like Rotimi Amechi will remember what happened in 2019 when it went ahead with the primaries of the APC against the directive of the court that they should allow other stakeholders to be part of the process.
Yeah.
APC lost completely in that state. I mean, you recall now. Every step they took amounted to nothing. There was nobody who contested the election on the platform of APC that became anything.
Yeah.
Because you can't build something on nothing.
On nothing.
The order of the court is clear. I don't know where we are going in our country, where some governors or some individuals want to cherry pick the orders of the court that they will obey. And I think that I've emphasized this point before on this program, that when people say the Federal High Court has no jurisdiction on chieftaincy matters, they fail to realize that once an applicant comes before the Federal High Court, seeking to get his fundamental rights affirmed, at that point, the Federal High Court can assume jurisdiction.
Okay.
And there are examples that I can give. Sanusi, the Emir, who was dethroned and then brought back, went before the Federal High Court in Abuja to seek for the validation of his fundamental human rights.
Okay.
When he was banished to Toto in Nasarawa State. He won. Why didn't Sanusi go before a Kano High Court?
Okay.
For his federal.
Why didn't he go? You see, and some lawyers are deliberately informing Nigerians. Once the applicant asks for the affirmation of his rights, at that point, and even the Court of Appeal has validated that already. At that point, it can assume jurisdiction. You will see that as the case goes on, look at the judgment that Justice Amobeda, look at his ruling the other day. He never went into chieftaincy matters.
Okay.
Yes, Justice Simon Amobeda, the other judge handling this case in Kano, he never went into chieftaincy matters. He dealt with the matter of the fundamental rights of Aminu Adobairo, and he said that the Kano governor has no right to order Aminu's arrest. Because Aminu, as far as is concerned, just as it happened with the case of Mustafa Jokolo,
okay,
Buhari's ADC as a military head of state.
Yeah.
The court believed that Jokolo, who was deposed by the former governor of Kebbi State, Adamu Alero, the court affirmed that Jokolo never got fair hearing. People will say, governors have the right to remove emirs, remove traditional rulers. No.
You don't.
Those rights also have limitations. The power of the governor also has limitations. Because the court ruled that Jokolo was wrongly deposed, and the court said he should be reinstated.
Yeah.
Look at the district head who was also deposed by former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai. Okay. He's been ordered to be reinstated. So you cannot simply say, a governor has the power to remove traditional ruler. There are some conditions that you have to meet.
Okay.
Once you meet those conditions,
because, but as you said a while back, in law, jurisdiction is key.
Is key. And when I'm saying that, it is not, people can't simply say, Federal High Court has no jurisdiction.
Yeah.
There are conditions under which the Federal High Court can assume jurisdiction in a chieftaincy matter.